I might be running on fumes today, Dirty Birds fans, but that is not going to stop me from celebrating the dominant victory over the Buffalo Bills last night on Monday Night Football, because you have the very rare Victory Tuesday. Welcome in, Dirty Birds fans, at Two Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and coming up on today's show, I'm going to let you know why the Falcons just put the entire NFL on notice. Not just the people outside of Atlanta, right? We're not talking about the NFC South and how the Buccaneers fans should be quaking in their boots. The entire NFL landscape now knows what a threat the Falcons are this 2025 football season. Here's what I will say. After going back and watching all of the tape up to this point, heading into week 7, the Dirty Birds are 3-2. There's one overarching takeaway, and it's this right here. This team is bound by one thing: themselves. I have noticed that when this team plays to their best potential, they can literally go head-to-head with one of the best teams in the NFL and dominate them. We saw it last night. They can also, when there's no game plan, when it's just a weak mentality, can get blown out by some of the worst, a.k.a. the Panthers game, and everything in between. So, in order to keep the victory vibes high, because we're not going to focus too much on the negatives here, maybe a couple things here and there that we need to tweak, but overall, it's going to be a very positive takeaway show. If you're feeling like I'm feeling, if you're feeling good, if you love those victory vibes, and you love those Dirty Birds, hit that thumbs up icon for me. Help support the show. All right, let's talk about it. Let's go back to last night for just a brief second. Sorry as I itch my nose. And also apologies for the disheveled appearance. Like I said, I'm kind of running on fumes today. The Falcons completely shut down Josh Allen. And I think that's a testament to how good this secondary is. And I have said this over and over again. This is the most talented secondary the Falcons have had in years. If you limit Josh Allen to 157 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, you, my friends, are a great, great secondary unit. I mean, you limited the best quarterback, if not, well, maybe not the best, but top 3, right? Top 3 guaranteed. It's Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, and Lamar. You could put Lamar in there as well. Those are the best 4 by far. And you kept him to a 72.6 quarterback rating, passer rating. I mean, there just doesn't need to be anything else said. The game plan, the execution, the understanding of how to beat a superior opponent, a superior quarterback, was on full display last night. They stifled a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, made his life a living hell with the constant and relentless blitz, and you stayed sticky in coverage. You forced Josh Allen to make errant throws. You forced him to think outside of the box. You saw him slamming his helmet all night long. He was frustrated, and that was how you were going to beat Josh Allen. I think maybe in the entirety of the NFL, the best hire of the entire 2025 football season was this guy right here. I mean, let's go back to 2024 for a second with Jimmy Lake's defense. The Falcons weren't even close. Even close. They weren't even in the same stratosphere of what this defense is. Some good draft picks. You hit on Jalon Walker. You hit on James Pearce Jr., Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman. And look, a new defensive coordinator with the hits on the draft picks. And all of a sudden, you're number 1 in the league. Falcons, by the way, are still number 1 in total yards allowed per game. 253.4. But it doesn't stop there, because where else do we rank in the tops of the NFL, according to defensive ESPN statistics? Yards per game, like we just said, first. Passing yards allowed per game, also first. Rushing yards allowed per game. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit, 17th. But points allowed per game, we are top 10. So 1, 1, 7, and 17th in all the major categories, all of the statistics that actually matter. Here's what I will say, and remember I told you I was going to tweak a couple of things here and there. We're going to focus on just a brief negative. Last night, during that first drive of the second half of the Buffalo Bills, they gashed you on the ground. There's got to be a more defensive presence up front when it comes to stopping the run. You cannot get bullied by a superior offensive line. And it's clear the Bills have a very, very good offensive line. So I will give them credit for that. That is a very, very talented offensive line for the Buffalo Bills. But they pushed you around on a couple of drives. In fact, he gave up quite a bit of rushing yards. We also saw this against the Carolina Panthers. So against the run, the Falcons have some things they need to clean up. But when you can stifle opposing quarterbacks like that in a 2025 NFL that is primarily predicated on passing the football, throwing it through the air, you're going to win, what, producer Reed, 8 out of 10 games? 7 out of 10 games? I mean, your defense can't do that every time, but if it does that the majority of the time, you're going to win those football games. So we're going to keep it positive, like I said. Going to keep the vibes high. And if you love what you see, if you love the breakdowns, if you love Dirty Birds content 365 days a year, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 43,000, halfway there, believe it or not. And last night, we were at 41,600, so we gained almost 900 subs in the last 24 hours, which is outstanding. So hit that sub button right now. Before we continue on with even more Falcons players that put the NFL world on notice, but not just NFL world, other big-time celebrity athletes on notice, I have to tell you about our friends over at HelloFresh. Fall is here, and when it comes to cooler nights, heartier meals, and the craving for something warm and satisfying, that's where HelloFresh comes in, bringing you comforting, chef-designed recipes and fresh, seasonal ingredients right next to your door. This season, they've taken things to a whole new level with their biggest menu refresh yet. Say hello to a whole new way to eat dinner. It is bigger. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. You can now choose from 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. Dig into bigger portions that'll keep everybody satisfied. It is tastier. Getting steak and seafood recipes delivered every single week for no extra cost. There's 3 times more seafood on the menu now at no extra cost. You can discover new seasonal produce each week, from snap peas to stone fruit to corn on the cob and more. 91% of customers say they feel healthier eating with HelloFresh. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied at discount on first box. New subscribers only varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. I'll have all of that in the comments and description of today's video. Guess who was watching last night's game? I don't know if you've heard of this guy before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. He's just a little well-known name named LeBron James. LeBron James, the king, who, by the way, knows greatness when he sees it. He knows talented ball players on the basketball court and on the football field, was tweeting about how Bijan is so freaking cold, man. And yes, he is the best player in the NFL. Raheem Morris said it himself. But not only that, the NFL talking heads are also finally giving the Falcons the credit that they deserve. Skip Bayless, who, I'm going to be completely honest, is one of my least favorite NFL personalities because he's just got so many negative takes over and over and over again. He finally said something positive about the Atlanta Falcons. Bijan Robinson is as great off the field as he is on it. He will soon be the NFL's best running back if he isn't already. Exactly. And there's a very legitimate case that he is the best running back in the NFL right now. Why? Well, he's just making history like every single week. His 822 scrimmage yards in 5 games is the most in franchise history through the first 5 games of the season. So he now holds the franchise record for most scrimmage yards in the first 5 games of an NFL season. I think that's pretty remarkable. Does it stop there, Moose? No, not even close. From ESPN research, this is from Mark Raimondi. Bijan is the second player to reach 450 rushing yards and 300 receiving yards through his first 5 games of a season in NFL history, joining only one former Buffalo Bills player. Isn't that hilarious? in Thurman Thomas in 1991. Mic drop. Bijan, goated, MVP. Continue on. Give me titles. Give me adjectives. I want you to fill it in because this dude is playing at a level that I have never seen him play before. And I said at the beginning of the season, if we are expecting the same Bijan that we got last year, but even more elevated, this is going to be the MVP winner. He's going to be the MVP winner. If he continues at the rate he's on, he has to win the MVP. And I also believe that you can stamp this down. The Falcons are one of the most complete teams in the NFL this year. It's going to be a really fun ride. That doesn't mean that they're the best team in the NFL. That doesn't mean that on any given Sunday, one unit can't absolutely shit the bed. Because every single week you see a team do it, even the best teams in the NFL. But when it comes to defense, when it comes to offense, when it comes to understanding how to win the football game based off of the way you play football, the Falcons are one of the best in the NFL. Bound only, like I said at the beginning of the video, by their own success. I do want to end today's episode by doing a little where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong. Because I talked a lot about how I was right, how sticky this secondary is, how it is one of the most, unbelievable ones we've seen in the last couple of years. But I do have to give my where Moose's was wrong. I have some apologies to give out, some thank you cards, or some I'm sorry, get well soon cards, whatever you want to call it. First one being D. Allwd. Look, it was the best game you've played as a Falcon, by far. I've had a lot of negative things to say about you. Last night, you shut me the hell up. You shut me the hell up. It was the best game you have played as a Falcon, period. I thought you were sticky in coverage. I thought you had good open field tackles. The interception was a great jump on the route. Everything that D. Allwd showed me yesterday proved to me that he is a very, very good rotational nickel corner or outside corner when he needs to be. Now, am I completely sold on D. Allwd being back? No. He's got to do it more often. But last night was a great step in the right direction. Mike Hughes, after that first play of the game where you gave up the 50-yard bomb, I thought he played very well. He had one bad penalty. He had one bad big-time play that was given up. But towards the end of the game, especially that last drive where the Bills are trying to make something happen, Josh Allen throws a ball down the right sideline, probably a 45-yard gain if it's caught, and Mike Hughes was completely sticky in coverage. So I got to give an apology to him because I made a video about benching him. So I will take that. I'll wear that like a man. I got to apologize to him. Elijah Wilkinson, who I don't even know if I necessarily owe him an apology. I never said he was bad. I just said I don't know how a backup offensive lineman is going to, take the place of a guy like Kaleb McGary. He's been excellent. He's held his own at that right tackle spot. His PFF grades don't reflect it, but he's only allowed one sack the entire year. He's only got 4 penalties against him through 5 games, which could probably be cleaned up a little bit, but for the most part, he's definitely held his own. And then finally, this one makes me twitch a little. Zach Robinson. Look, was it perfect last night? Nope. You got a little stale in the second half. But since you've moved down to the field, you got 2 great performances back-to-back, man. Against the Commanders, it looked good. Against the Bills, it looked really good at times. I would still like to see you use the same creativity that you had in the first half against the Bills, which was an excellent game plan. I would like to see you use that more off script when you go into the second half, especially when teams start to make halftime adjustments. But you had 443 total yards. You didn't turn the ball over. 32 carries, 210 yards on the ground. This is a great rushing attack. No turnover. Time of possession, you dominated. I got to give my hat, not this one, but I got to tip my cap to Zach Robinson, who has played, or called, I should say, 2 very, very good games back-to-back. I will leave you with this. From PFF, Falcons defense versus the Bills. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 of 9 on third down conversions, and only 14 points allowed. And here's my victory lap. Where Moose was right, where Moose was wrong. I told anybody, any fan that would listen to me that this team has a new identity. I told you from the very beginning, This is no longer the Falcons team that will score 35 and give up 31 to win a game. This is a team that will score 24 and win 24-14. I hope you finally recognize the impact of Jeff Ulbrich, the rookies, and this defense as a whole. Because while they might not be hitting and getting every sack that they should get, the pressure rate, the blitz, the aggressiveness is a completely new Atlanta Falcons team. And I'm excited for it. I love it. Hit that subscribe button. Like today's video. Rise up, Dirty Birds fans. I'll see you a little bit later today. Be cool.